Thank you for taking some time for yourself, and you can wonder as you feel the slow, heavy rise and fall of your chest, just how much heavier that laden feeling in your limbs can become before it simply turns into the depth of this moment. Can you notice the way each exhale seems to pull you deeper into the mattress, almost as if the air itself is becoming thicker? And you can be pleased to realize that you don't have to try and sleep right now, because we both know how exhausting the effort of rest is. So you can just breathe and let the need for wakefulness go. With the next breath out, and you can begin to wonder when your body will decide. It's actually easier to just close the heavy scroll than it is to keep reading the same line over and over. With your permission, I'd like you to let the natural history of your day become your primary focus, breathing it in, acknowledging the chaotic, unmapped territory of your thoughts. Now I'd like you to have a new experience, even if it's just the experience of being utterly, unapologetically finished with the day in a way that meets your needs. And as you settle, perhaps you wouldn't mind noticing the delicious treachery of your own senses as time begins to liquefy. I wonder if you'll be curious to find your sense of space performing a slow, surreal dance, where the boundaries between what happened and what might happen start to blur. I wonder if you've ever noticed that in the time of Pliny the Elder, there were no history books as we know them today. No neat shelves, no alphabetical order. His natural history was a 37-volume ocean, stars, mixed with sea monsters, the weight of Roman wars mixed with the exact medicinal properties of a single mountain herb. I would like you to discover that your insomnia is exactly like Pliny's library before he bound it, a vast, uncatalogued heap of data where everything touches everything else. You've been trying to read the whole world at once, with no chapters, no endings, no borders, and you can wonder if the weight on your mind is just that, a book with 10,000 pages and no table of contents. But then I want you to notice something that's happening, a shift in the archive. Maybe you'll be amused to discover the frantic pace of Pliny's mind before he found his rest. He was so obsessed with the natural history of the world that he never travelled alone. He moved in a carriage with a shorthand writer by his side, so that not a single second of observation was ever lost. Even in winter, his writers wore gloves with long sleeves, so the cold wouldn't stop them from recording his thoughts. He believed that every moment not spent in study was time wasted. I wonder if you'll be curious to hear about the shapeless lumps of white flesh he believed bear cubs were born as, little mouse-sized blobs that their mothers had to literally lick into shape to make them look like bears. And you can be pleased to realize that if nature can be that absurd and still function perfectly, your own mind doesn't need to be so serious tonight. You can afford to let go of the logic and embrace the trance logic of the archive. Sleep is not a blackout, but a biological process of filing all of these strange, wonderful details. Perhaps beginning to notice that your unconscious mind is the master librarian of Rome. You may find it fascinating to know that when Vesuvius began its work, Pliny's obsession with recording the world met its final chapter, while the sky outside turned a deep velvet black, denser than an ordinary night. He didn't see chaos. He saw a spectacular natural phenomenon to be studied. He ordered a warm bath. He dined with great cheerfulness to soothe his worried friends. And then, most remarkably, he simply went to bed. He fell into a sleep so profound and sound that his heavy, rhythmic breathing could be heard through the thick stone door. He knew that the thick walls of his villa were a sanctuary, and the external fire of the world had no power over the quiet rooms of his mind. I'd like you to begin allowing yourself to stop being the scholar who has to hold the light. One of the things I'd like you to discover is that your library is even more secure than Pliny's, built of thoughts that can be put away whenever you choose. And while you wonder that, I want you to discover that you can let that old, rigid need to stay awake and watch simply dissolve. Perhaps you wouldn't mind noticing that as you exhale now, the heavy ink of the day's worries is actually leaving your mind. I'd like you to begin allowing yourself to step back from the desk of your day. And as that occurs, you really can't help but notice that you are no longer the writer. You are the thick stone walls of the library itself. So it's almost as if you're standing in a cool, dark hallway. All that really matters is that the record is written, the ink is drying, and the archive is secure. I wonder if you'll enjoy how naturally, how easily a new kind of compartmentalisation begins to take hold. Imagine Pliny's library, 37 volumes each in its proper niche. One volume for the history of trees, one for mining, one for the nature of winds. What's important is the ability of your mind to realize that tomorrow is a volume that hasn't even been delivered yet. It doesn't belong on tonight's desk. I want to remind you of something that you probably already know, which is that the brain needs the dark to sort the light. Your internal archive is being reorganized right now according to a more permissive geometry of rest. And you will be fascinated and feel a strong compulsion to see how the weight of your thoughts actually balances out when you give the librarian permission to lock the doors. And that's just fine. Sooner or later, I don't know just when, you will feel your head touch the pillow and your mind will automatically hear the sound of a heavy stone door clicking shut. Would you be willing to experience a sudden sense of safety every time you close your eyes? It's very rewarding to know that your unconscious mind is already calculating the new countdown of your sleep. And as you settle, you can appreciate the fact that you don't even need to listen to my words anymore. I'd like you to begin allowing the rhythm of your breathing to become the only history that matters. The rise and the fall, like the tide of the Mediterranean against a quiet shore. And you can wonder how much deeper you can go as you notice the silence of the library stretching out, becoming vast, becoming infinite. I wonder if you'll be curious to notice how the bed seems to hold you even more securely now, as if the mattress itself has become the softest, warmest sand. And you are simply sinking, drifting into a space where there are no books left to read, only the quiet, dark ink of sleep. And that's just fine. You can let the librarian finish the filing while you wander further down the hall towards the softest, dimmest light, where the dreams are waiting. All that really matters is the cool air, the dark, and the absolute certainty that you can sleep now, deeper and deeper and deeper. That's okay. That's all right. You can just drift now. That's okay. I wonder if you'll be curious to see what marvelous creatures your mind will invent in your dreams tonight, now that the library has finally gone quiet. Sleep now. Deep sleep. Deep sleep. You are perfect, just as you are.